Okay, so let's take a look at how we can model some of the food objects. So I have the scene over here and you can see everything's organized. So here's the watermelon, here are the eggshells, and then there's the pizza slice, the banana, and here's the apple. So let's take a look at the watermelon in this case. So I'm going to hide everything else and I just have the watermelon. So let me go to the side view in this case. And since I already have it, I'm just going to use that as a reference right now. Normally you would have an image as a reference. So you would have an actual image of a watermelon in a side view like this as a reference. So right now I'm just going to use this as my reference. So, and slightly a different approach. We'll still do polygonal modeling, but let's go to Create Curves, CV Curve Tool. So this is the one I'm choosing. And pretty much everything is at default. If not, you can just say Reset Tool. I'm going to make a 3-degree curve. So let's come down over here. Let's start right from here. And I don't need to make points that close, so I'm just going to just go and make maybe every in between over here. And right around here and hit Enter. Now at this time, let's go to our perspective view. So I'm holding down spacebar. Go to the hotbox where it says Maya, click on that and go to the perspective view. Just an easy way to navigate. And with this, what we're going to do is, let's move this over here. Let's make a simple poly cube. You can also start with the polyplane. So I'm just going to make a simple poly cube. Everything is default again. If not, just always reset the settings. Say create. And what I'm going to do is just take the polycube and snap it to this point over here. So the way to do that is hold down, you can also do C to curve snap or V as in Victor to vertex snap. So if I do C right now, you'll see that I'm doing a curve snap. So I'm holding down C and middle mouse button snapping over there. If I wanted to do V, I could do that too. And you can see that it's trying to snap somewhere over there right now, but C is the best in this case. So let's do snap. And with that, I'm also going to rotate this. I'm going to take my manipulator size slightly down. So let's negative and take it down. And let's just try it with this first, and we can always do some more cuts. Normally you can also scale this down, but let's just see the tool that we're going to use. So I'm simply going to select this polygonal face right here, shift select the curve. And if the curve's not getting shift selected, you can always go to your outliner. And let me open the outliner right over here. So let's say if the curve is not getting selected for some reason. So you can always select the face and control select the curve. So you can do it that way too from the outliner. So with those two selected, I'm simply going to go under Edit Mesh and go to Extrude. It's all the default settings and let's say Extrude. And you can see under Curve Setting it says Selected. So it's going to use that selected curve for extrusion. But I'm not going to change anything else right now. When I do this, it almost seems like nothing really happened. So if I just go here now and hit Control A, move that down. Let's do divisions. And if something crazy like this starts to happen, we can always change that. So let's undo for a second and let's do divisions. And you can see that there's something reconnecting over here, trying to reconnect. But that's not a big deal. We can always fix that. So in this case, I'm going to backtrack a little bit and select this. And first, I'm going to scale this down. So let's say right about there. And just like over here in this case, I'm also going to go and vertex and probably scale these down as well. And now I'm going to go to our face and shift select the curve and let's do an extrude. And right now there's no divisions, so it doesn't know really how many divisions to extrude. So we do Control A for the attribute editor. And here are the extrude face settings right here on the extrude face tab. First thing I'm going to do is increase the divisions. So let's increase them. And you can see again it's trying to backtrack. No big deal. We can fix that. The next thing we can also do is a taper. But I'm going to wait over here right now and fix some of these issues first. In this case, a lot of different ways you can approach this. But in this case, I'm simply going to select all these faces and delete them. And select these guys and delete them too. And you can see there's a face over here. We can close this, but I'm just going to simply delete it. And this is closed over here nicely, but this is not really completed, as you can see. There's like an inside face over here. So let's go here and let's try to fix this part. You can see right there is not correct. So let's select all these and delete, delete, and delete that. Now with that, we've got our basic shape going, but then this is open. So to close it, it's pretty simple. You just simply select, just double click on this edge, selects the entire edge, and you go mesh, and you say fill hole. With that, I'm just going to go back to right click object mode, select this piece, and let's go under Control A again, the attribute editor, and let's go right over here to that poly extrude, and over here there's the taper. So as far as the taper goes, you can also open it from here. So let's open the taper, and let's have this one taper down, and let's have this one taper up right here. So this point over here should be right here, as you can see, right there. And here's a value you can put 2. So I can also give this one a value. So I can call this one 2. So you can see that's way too much. So maybe 1.5. And now it's nicely tapering down. And we can fix this. This is just, you know, a matter of selecting the points and moving them. In fact, I can take this one and 1.3. And this point over here could be actually accidentally deleted the point right now. So let's go down over here. And this is at 0.4. A slightly different shape than this, but that's just a matter of moving this. There we go. And if you want, you can introduce more points, but you can also do a twist if you want to, but we don't need the twist in this case. Now at this time, I'm also going to do a nice bevel, because this one is nicely beveled. So let's go to Edge, double click on this edge, selects the entire ring, Shift select, hold down Shift and double click on this edge, selects that part right there. Just select these edges, I'm holding down Shift. Select these top ones right over here. Hold down Shift again and double click on this edge, and hold down Shift and double click on this one right here. And you can see there's an extra edge over here selected. There's an extra edge. I'm holding down Control and deselecting them now. And if you wanted to make sure that everything you wanted was selected, you can see there's a little. You can always go to 4, hit 4 on the keyboard, which is wireframe. And you can see that whatever you want is only selected and nothing else is selected. So let's go to Edit Mesh in this case, and let's go to Bevel. I already have some settings over here from one of my previous files, but let's try using those actually, and let's give it 3 segments, and maybe actually let's crank it up slightly. And let's do a bevel, and you can see it's nicely given us a bevel right here, and you can absolutely have more of a bevel. And then it's just a matter of shaping. You can also go over here and start shaping these guys slightly up or down, just to give it a different look. Slightly up and down like this. This is a little too much still. Just pull it down. But there you go. That's how you could do the watermelon. And if you wanted more cuts over here, you can see there's a little edge loop. You can easily do that with a lot of different tools over here. You can use the interactive split tool or the insert edge loop tool to do that. And the interactive split tool is a nice one as well. So you can just go here and just start from this one, and this is going in the center, but we can absolutely move it. And you can just, and I'm just going to hit enter right now, but you can go all the way this way, and then you can just select the edge and simply move it down. So there you go, that's your watermelon piece, and we'll see some more in the next video.